All right. Welcome back. Episode 228. Was that the email? 228?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, 228 of Chaotically Intolerant. We have another week of the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts are who I thought they were. The other shoe was dropped. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But before we get into that, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go check out draftamerica.com. Go check out Spring Hill Sports Cards, and the cycle will be dropping with this episode. And happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates, or if you just eat dinner with your family on Thursday, the last Thursday in November. That's Thanksgiving. So have a good Thanksgiving. Mike, before we get into it, what's your top Thanksgiving food?
Sweet potato pie. Or I would say pumpkin pie, but I love sweet potato casserole as a non-dessert food.
Non-dessert food. All right. Let me give it. I got to give this a little thought. Maybe I'll do it on the other side of the intro. All right, let's go. All right. So, Mike, my favorite Thanksgiving food. I mean, this is a tough one. I could just run the ball up the middle, go with your classic dinner roll. You can dip it in the gravy. You can make a sandwich out of it with everything on your plate. Just stuff it in there and have like a nice little Thanksgiving pocket almost. You could go mashed potatoes and gravy. Do you consider gravy a second side or like an individual thing? Some people consider gravy an individual thing.
I think of it as a side, but
Because
uh,
I'm not doing mashed potatoes without gravy. Like I'm just not at Thanksgiving, and I'm not doing gravy independently. It's
right.
it's eat more equal to a dressing, like a salad dressing in my eyes. Tough decision. I mean, I got to think about this for a minute. I mean, I could also just think of a dessert, but that's a layup, right? That's just going with a layup there. I'm really putting a lot of thought, as you can tell, into this answer. I'm gonna go with like just like a solid pumpkin pie. I think that's. I'm just gonna go with a dessert. I'm gonna go pumpkin pie. Maybe just so I can wrap this topic up, so we can get into the thing that everyone is here for, the football. We had football this past weekend. We had some big games. We had some really shitty games. All right, let's just go with Colts Chiefs. Let's go with the probably one of the better games of the day. Um, yeah, the Colts are they're not that good. They're just not. I don't think they're good. I've been very, very wary of this team all year. Obviously, I've been happy to be, 8-1 at one point, or 7-1 or 7-2 or whatever. But they kind of are who I thought they were. This was a mental collapse. This was just you got too aggressive. Shane Steichen it was weird. Like he was playing to not lose the game, but he was also playing aggressive, if you know what I mean. It's just the play calling didn't really make a lot of sense, and I know a lot of people say, well, they were stopping Jonathan Taylor from running the football. I mean, the first thing you want to do when you have the ball in the fourth quarter up 11, you're trying to run the clock out. You're not trying to just completely win the game. I mean, Shane Steichen's entire philosophy, he talks about passing to score and running to win. You run to win the game. You're there to run the clock out. You're not as concerned with picking up first downs, but if you can run off 40 seconds every single play, 42, 43 seconds every single play, and you go three and out, you're much happier there than throwing three straight incompletions and running off a minute and a half. And then you look at Jonathan Taylor's runs when he has over 20 carries on when he has over 20 carries on carries 21 through 30 of the game. He's averaging over 9 yards a carry. I mean, it's clear that Jonathan Taylor kind of runs like a Derrick Henry, where you're trying to wear the defense down with him, and he gets stronger as the game goes. A lot of those big touchdown runs he's had, the longer ones, have come late in games where maybe he didn't have a great start to the game, but eventually he busts one out. And he finds a way. A lot of the runs were to the outside. I would have liked to see a lot more running in between the tackles. Jonathan Taylor is at his best in between the tackles and really trusts the offensive line. And if you're going to be a winning playoff team, you have to be able to say, we're going to run the ball down your throat. You know it's coming, and we just don't care. You can send as many people as you want, but we have the MVP in the backfield. We have one of the great offensive lines in the NFL, and I don't really think they were even given an opportunity to do that, which is really disheartening. And on the Chiefs side of things, I mean, they saved their season here. This Patrick Mahomes could do pretty much whatever he wanted. It felt like, to at least move the Chiefs down the field. Now we did see a Colts defense that bent but didn't break a lot. I think the Chiefs only scored one touchdown in this game. The rest were by field goals. Let's see. Their lone touchdown. Yeah, the lone touchdown was in the fourth quarter to pull close. But I mean, the Chiefs went that interception, field goal, field goal, field goal, punt, punt, fumble, touchdown, punt, field goal to end it. That's a pretty damn good defensive day from that drive chart, I'd say. So, I would take that. I mean, the defense did their job, and especially considering, and I know I'm taking up a lot of time on this, Mike, especially considering it was 25-42 in time of possession for this entire game. Kansas City dominated. It was 33-10 in first downs, 91-50 in total plays, 494 to 255 in total yards. I mean, they clearly bent, but that's what this defense is built on. And again, if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you need to be able to score, I mean, really over 23 points. That's a pretty reasonable thing to ask. And really, over 20. If you scored over 20 in this game, you probably win anyways, because you don't have to go to overtime. So there's a lot of holes with this Colts team. I think it's actually it is encouraging that they were very in this game with a very desperate Chiefs team coming off a division loss. I mean, the Chiefs knew what this game was about. They came out to play, and I'm happy to see how the Colts performed up until the fourth quarter. They looked really good, I would say, up until the fourth quarter, to be able to hang around with a Chiefs team. I don't care how good or bad. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still the Kansas City Chiefs. It doesn't matter. So being able to hang in there and be up that late, I think, is encouraging for this team. But they have a lot of growing to do. And the next few weeks, it's really going to tell everyone who they really are, with Houston coming up this week, and then Jacksonville, Seattle, Houston again, the 49ers, and Jacksonville. And that is not in order whatsoever. I have no clue what it is. So, Mike, you got anything on this? I know that was a long answer.
It's staggering. The first downs, 33-10, 494 to 255 in yards. I mean, I think a lot of ways the Colts were lucky to be in this game and have a lead. They got, a couple of turnovers, didn't turn the ball over themselves. But yeah, like you said, not I mean, he's the MVP of the league. It's not just like, oh, you have Taylor, or oh, we should have run the ball, but we have a good but not great running game. You have the best running back in the league, and you don't put the game away. This just feels more than anything just like a game that the Colts would lose, a game that the Chiefs would win. I don't buy into the narrative that, oh my God, the Chiefs are back, heart of a champion, can't kill them, this and that. I'm like, ah, fine, bring it on, bring it on. Let's prove it. That'll get cold water thrown on it. But I'm just curious to see how the Colts respond. They've responded to their losses this year, right? They've come back, had a tough one to the Rams, they had a tough one to the Steelers. They have bounced back. I still think, given how badly they were outgained and outmuscled, but for a lot of this game, that they had an opportunity to win. So hopefully for them, they learn from it. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're frauds or they're not going to win the division. They still have a game lead. They still have 2 with Jacksonville, 2 with Houston. We'll learn a lot over these next few weeks. But clearly, there's still. I think, I know you see it differently as a Colts fan. I still think there's a lot to like, but let's see how they respond. Let's see if they actually learn from their mistakes here, going into this big game against Houston.
As time has passed, I have gotten a little, I guess a little more reasonable. I've reflected on it a little more. I'm not quite as down and out on them. I'm actually trying to find the division odds right now, but of course, Hard Rock Bet is just making it incredibly difficult to see that.
But I had seen. I'm looking on FanDuel's website, and they're great in the sense for futures that they'll have the division odds even during games. Jaguars plus 280, Texans plus 750. That will go down quite a bit in Houston's favor if they win. It'll go way more in Indy's favor, especially if somehow Jacksonville gets knocked off by Tennessee. And for the record, you cannot bet on Tennessee to win the division. because they mathematically cannot win the division. So
Already. Wow.
already they lost 10 games. So the Colts can only lose what, 9? So there
Yeah.
you go.
All right. Steelers, Bears, Aaron Rodgers' aura, his voodoo magic. It doesn't work when he's not on the field. He was in the stadium at Soldier Field, flicking off cameramen. True story from what I've seen. Um, but this is just another Bears find a way to win. I mean, they're 8-3. They're 8-3 for a reason. It's not pretty. Point differential, not pretty. There was a Caleb Williams sack fumble in the end zone. The Steelers had a fake tush push, which was fucking awesome. But it wasn't pretty with the Bears finding ways to win. And when you're a young upstart team like this with a brand new head coach and a second year quarterback, you should never apologize for a win in the NFL. I think it's not their year this year. They're not winning the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. But maybe in a couple years, this team could be, sitting pretty and possibly looking at being a contender for the Super Bowl. Mike, what do you got on this?
Yeah, just I love what I'm seeing from the Bears. Love what I'm seeing from the Steelers, which is losing close games and just being just the bare minimum, good enough to be 9-8, 10-7, whatever. I mean, a lot of reasons that the Bears could have lost this game. You mentioned the defensive touchdown, but Caleb Williams, I mean, he's quieting a lot of doubters each and every week. And this one, yeah, Pittsburgh's not a great team, but still, considering that the Bears have mostly had a soft schedule, I think this was still an important win. Obviously, huge prove-it test this week when they go to Philly on Black Friday. Pittsburgh, same story. I don't need to add anything. They're going to just do what they do. Mike Tomlin will, make them just good enough to be 500, whatever. Rudolph was okay. Fake tush push was cool. I watched the highlight. I think the Bears are. I think they're building. I think they need a year or two, but they could be a real contender next year. I don't think they are this year, but nice to see them after many years of sucking. They are relevant again.
Yeah. Pats Bengals. Joe Flacco, man. It's a Flacco game.
Yeah, but the
I
pick six. Oh man, that was awful.
Well, Drake May had his own too, so they just evened out. Joe needed to even the playing field a little bit, clearly, because he's Joe Flacco. But no, I mean the Patriots again. That's another one, like a young team, first year head coach. They've struggled against some not very good teams, especially the past couple weeks. I mean, Cincy shouldn't really struggle. I think it's fair to struggle with them. Like they're not horrible, but especially without Jamar Chase, you really shouldn't struggle. Little bit of a struggle with the Jets, on Thursday Night Football. Like it wasn't pretty the way they won. You're looking at the Bucks. The Bucks are, who are the Bucks right now? We don't know. Well, that one was a close one. Even though it was like 2 scores and they needed the onside kick, but still. Falcons struggled with the Falcons, beat them by 1. I mean, it hasn't been very pretty, and a lot of Pats fans are going to sit here and prop them up and act like they're the best team like they're the runaway best team in the AFC. They are 10-2 for a reason. They are the best team in football, but it's not a runaway. They're not a runaway. They are human. They're very human, and Bengals, just please just sit Burrow. There's no reason, absolutely no reason to play him, and he's already been hurt enough.
I don't know about that part, but I will say this game probably shouldn't have been as close as it was. Pats had a long drive. They got stuffed at the 1 yard line, and then of course each team had a pick six. They just kind of let Cincy hang around, but they found a way to win. They're 6-0 on the road. If I want to look at a young team that's maybe learning to win, I want to know how they do on the road. That's always a good indicator. We talked about how good Seattle's been under Mike McDonald, only 2 road losses. Mike Vrabel's team 6-0 away from Foxborough. So there you go. And the Bengals, I mean, not much to say. I don't know. I think they probably want to, they probably don't want to
Get
go
their
three,
money's worth.
sit Burrow. But um, yeah, I'm buying into the Pats because I think Drake May's good. I think they're finding ways to win, winning games in different ways. And hey, the AFC's wide open. I don't think there's any team, especially like New England, Indy, Denver, who were kind of like, oh, but we don't know. I mean, but there's no reason any of those teams can't win the conference this year just based on how sort of don't want to say mediocre because teams have good records, but it's wide open. So New England's got to feel really good, and they got the Giants coming up, so no reason not to be 11-2, right? Going into a little bit of a tougher part of their schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. Pats are definitely the most for real, I'd say, out of all the AFC teams. There just really doesn't seem to be like a for real team in the AFC. Like I don't see someone who feels like that, like Philly last year, they were the runaway. It felt like, especially at this point in the season, it felt like Philly was they were real. They were going to be the team to get there. But the AFC again, like it's wide open and it's awesome. It's really awesome to see. I mean, hell, maybe we get another Pats Chiefs AFC title game.
Mm.
Maybe in Foxborough. That'd be pretty nuts. I don't know. Does the Mahomes magic continue at that point? That would be crazy. Um, Jets Ravens get a nice little win. Nice win. Wasn't pretty, right? Was it raining at one point?
Maybe a little bit.
It wasn't. Nothing looked pretty. It did. Baltimore did not look like an incredibly enjoyable city at that time. Um, but hey, Lamar playing hurt, finding ways to do it. I mean, these are the games you have to win. Like they've dug themselves enough of a hole. Um, this is a it's you're not allowed to lose this game. You're just not allowed to lose this game and go to the playoffs. So Ravens currently in are they in they are tied for first in the AFC North. It is week one, basically. With the Steelers. So I mean it's still it's the Ravens division at this point. Let's just call it. Let's just say it's your division. It's your division
Yeah,
to lose.
well, I would think so. I would think so. But man, he's banged up. The O line's not very good. I think they're Ravens are doing what they have to do, beating the teams they're supposed to beat, but winning ugly, which I don't hate. I actually don't hate seeing them win games that are grinded out games, and we've seen them just blow teams out for years and years. And said, well, where's the adversity? Well, you were 1-5 this year. That's adversity. You lost your quarterback. You have been kind of scraping by some of these teams. Yeah, I mean, they blew out Miami, and they did beat the Bears. They're the only team to beat the Bears since that 0-2 start, and that was before Lamar Jackson came back. Um, they just got it done against Cleveland. They were down at half to the Jets, and it was a sloppy first half. It just everything looked
Yeah.
disjointed offensively. There's like a lot of concern, but then there's also like a lot of reasons to be really optimistic because it hasn't been smooth sailing. So I'm kind of curious to see how the narrative of this season plays out. I think even if you told anybody the Ravens would only be 6-5 after 11 games, you'd still be like, that's a disappointment. But given that they were 1-5, I think the narrative is like, they got momentum now. They're playing better football, but I don't know. I think it is the Ravens division to lose. I think the Jets hung in there. I don't think they're quite as bad as 2-9. They feel more like a 4-7 kind of team. No, obviously went to Tyrod Taylor, but again, I think just the better team won, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah. Seahawks Titans. Titans hung around a little bit. They looked all right.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And JSN might be the best. He is the best receiver on the planet right now.
Well, we know MVP's always a quarterback award, and we're talking about Jonathan Taylor, and we should be talking about JSN in that discussion, really. I mean, where would the Seahawks be without him this year? So I hope he gets some consideration, even though he's not going to win it. Yeah, I mean, Titans had better numbers for Cam Ward, I guess. But look, it was 30-10 at one point. Tennessee got a touchdown with a minute 18 left, and then, well, I guess they got the onside kick. Is that what it was? And then they got, yeah. No, they got a 3-and-out, quick 3-and-out, and they got the ball back. So, yeah, I mean, they scrambled and they got some points there, but ultimately I think they're just a horrible football team. They're 0-6 at home. Seattle needed this one coming off that loss to the Rams and seeing what the Rams did to the Bucks. So check the box. Seattle comes home. Darnold gets to face the Vikings this week.
Vikings Packers. JJ McCarthy. Not good.
We thought both the Lions and Vikings would regress to the mean this year after having incredible seasons. I was more confident the Vikings would regress, and that's how it's played out. McCarthy, I don't know. I don't know if he's not good or he's just not ready. I mean, the Packers, it was so whatever, pedestrian for them. Love at 139 yards passing. Wilson ran for 107 on the ground, but this was just such an ugly football game. Neither, the teams combined for 433 total yards of offense. I mean, it was just, I don't even know what to really make of this game. But the Packers don't feel to me like a 7-3-1 team.
Yeah.
And yet here they are, half game out of first in the North, a half game ahead of the Lions, who they'll play on Thursday. I don't know what the Vikings are going to do, but obviously they're going to be without McCarthy now for at least a week, maybe longer, maybe the rest of the year. I don't know. I don't really have a good feel for where the Packers are. I just know where the Vikings are going to end up, and that's last place.
All right. Giants Lions. Jameis fucking Winston. Jameis is listen, it's not going to be good, but it's going to be fun. He's going to have some fun. Jameis had the touchdown, the touchdown reception where he just rumbles his way into the end zone. I mean, if this Giants team has life, and Jameis even said when Dart comes back, he's willing to move to tight end so he can help the team, and that might have been his tryout. That might have been his tryout to move to tight end. I would love to see Jameis as a tight end. And the Lions coming off a loss, this you had to have this one. And it would have felt especially, the sky could have been falling if you lose this one to the Giants, especially in the way they were doing it. I think they were down like 10 points twice in this game. So yeah, it was 10
Yeah.
nothing, and then 20, or it was 27-17 in the fourth quarter. So yeah, but Lions got it done.
517 yards of offense allowed by the Lions defense. We were saying their defense looked great against the Eagles on Sunday night, and then they come out and then they do this. So I don't really know, but they ran for 237. This was just, yeah, Jameis makes everything fun for the Giants. They're not good, but they're going to be entertaining. They are 0-7 on the road already. But the Lions, I mean, this was just one of those games coming off that emotional game against Philly. They lose that. A lot of questions. They get sluggish start, but they find a way to win this game. And they know they got 4 days to get ready for the Packers. So maybe not the worst thing to have struggled in this game. But I don't know. I just don't know if the Lions have that it factor that it felt like they had the last 2 years. But good to see Amon-Ra St. Brown have a big day. Good to see Jahmyr Gibbs going off like that. I mean, both these teams are fun teams, and this was a fun game.
Giants are officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Okay.
So disappointing. What a year.
Yeah.
Jaguars Cardinals. Dude, the Jags are Trevor Lawrence, 3 interceptions. I mean, this is not a playoff football team. They could still go and win the division because of my lack of faith in the Indianapolis Colts, but Jags are not good.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, just another one of these teams is just getting by, getting it done. Whatever we don't know what the reasoning is. We don't know who's, the chicken or the egg. We don't know what's going on, but they're getting contributions from a lot of random names. Brenton Strange, Parker Washington. I mean, they ran the ball well. And I think the more that they can run the ball, so that helped a little bit offset the fact they were almost at 5 yards a carry. That helped a little bit to offset the 3 interceptions by Lawrence. And I guess, I mean, defense wasn't great because Arizona, was able to move the ball pretty well, but they made a stop at the end. So, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think the Jaguars are all that good, but, got to tip your cap. 7-4 after 11 games is still way better than we're used to seeing from the Jaguars.
I guess. Browns Raiders. Shador, first Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback to win his debut since 1995. Mike, who was the quarterback? We already talked about this, but who was the
Eric
quarterback?
Zier, yeah. Ravens, great. Eric Zier, Yeah, I would not have expected that. I know Tim Couch's first NFL start, it was the Browns' first game back, was a 43-0 loss to Pittsburgh, so I wasn't about to guess him. But, yeah, I mean, look, good for Shedeur Sanders. He's taking a lot of heat, a lot of haters out there. And, yeah, I know it's the Raiders who are just awful.
Abysmal.
But
they're abysmal. They're so sad.
You know what? He had the one pick, but he threw the nice deep ball. He was mostly efficient. And the Browns didn't do much running the ball. They were 27 for 64, but this Raiders team is just painful to watch. Hard to believe they beat the Patriots. they hold the Browns to 11 first downs, 270 yards of offense. And the Browns only had the ball for 23 and a half minutes, and the Raiders still lost by 2 touchdowns. So there you go. That's all I got.
Yeah, Shador gonna get the start this week as well. I mean, he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it.
Yeah, you
Um,
step up. They'll get the 49ers. That'll be a little tougher.
yeah, it was modest, but I'm excited to see him. See a big test here. I mean, a Kyle Shanahan defense against a rookie quarterback, that's tough. So hopefully he can prove the haters wrong. Falcons Saints. I guess they have to play football because it's on the schedule, but this game feels like it meant absolutely nothing. Kirk Cousins, though. Kirk Cousins getting a win. That's awesome. Good to see it.
Through the pick six, but Falcons, and weird that they were an underdog in this game. It's just that didn't make sense. Yeah, two bad football teams. Falcons are a little less bad. Cousins
Yeah.
always, everyone wants to hype him up when he wins a football game. Big deal. But yeah, I don't really have much on these teams. Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love it. Love Kirko. Um, Cowboys Eagles.
what a
Wow.
game.
These
Yeah.
these guys have had some classics. The past two have been just amazing. Um, am I misremembering that? No, I'm thinking of the Giants game at the beginning of the year. Giants Cowboys.
Right, right. But they did play the opening Thursday night game, and that was a pretty good game too. That
That
was
was a good
almost
one. That was the spit
four.
game.
Yeah, that was 24-20. This ends 24-21, and I think just Philly's a bit of a head scratcher. I'm still waiting for that game where it's like, oh yeah, Saquon Barkley's back. The Eagles' offense is potent. I don't know what's going on with Barkley. I really don't know. I feel like there's got to be something more there. Is he hurt? Are they saving his energy? 10 carries for 22 yards in a game you were up 21 nothing. Like, what am I missing? Just I understand the offensive line. They've got some big injuries there. Passing game was good. I mean, Hurts had nice numbers. AJ Brown hit the century mark. Like, they were suffocating Dallas, the defense in the first half, and then it just all fell apart. And this is the second big blown lead the Eagles have had this year. You know, they're just they're hard to get a read on because we're looking at them through the lens of being the defending Super Bowl champs. I think any other year they had an Eagles team that was 8-3 and had this kind of talent, and they had the big comeback against the Rams. I think you'd still be saying like, I think the Eagles will be fine. They look good this year, but we're looking at it like, how come they're not the same team as last year? And what is it that's missing this
They're
year that
they're they're the Broncos.
perhaps,
We look at
perhaps,
we should if you put it look at a blind resume, you would probably look at these teams and say, yeah, they got the same vibe. Great defense, offense is struggling. They're heavy winning records, but they haven't looked really amazing at all this year. I still think,
no,
I mean,
it's just the running. I just don't understand like
yeah,
what's going on with Barkley until that gets sorted out. I mean, he's 3.7 yards a carry. He's got, what, he's averaging only 62 yards a game. And that's crazy. That's just, and now he's dealing with a groin injury. So I guess there we go. He's dealing with a groin injury, but he fumbled in the game. I mean, was he just overused last year? I don't know. But for Dallas, look, they're playing on a short week this week. They're 5-5 all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe the Cowboys, kind of like the Ravens, will be better off going in, trying to get to the playoffs as a team that actually battled adversity and didn't just puff their chest all year like all those 12-5 Cowboys teams.
yeah. Um, Bucks Rams roll Matthew Stafford. I mean, he could be the MVP.
Yeah,
Holy shit, this guy is on another level. I mean, that throw to Devontae Adams on the right
yeah.
side of the field, right on the
Well,
money.
that and he had the no look. Because if you look at the ESPN article, it's just
Yeah,
Bucks are just so beat up, and now we'll see about what happens with Mayfield and Mike Evans is out. They just got Chris Godwin back. Their defense, Jamel Dean's out. I mean, they are a walking wounded team. Just some funky plays in this game. The bobble that turned into the pick six. I don't know what to make of the Bucks. They're still in first place, but and nobody seems to like want to win that division. But the Rams are really good. I'm wondering, are we going to look at another LA parade? Is Stafford going to be like his buddy Kershaw and go out on top? I don't know. The Rams look really, really good.
yeah.
They do.
To another team that doesn't want to win the South, the Carolina Panthers on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, so
Um,
good.
in the first quarter, went touchdown, punt, interception, 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 punt by the Panthers, interception, and then field goals, punt. Yeah, really just an ugly, ugly game. Just neither team wanted to win the game. But I don't really have much else. This is a Kyle Shanahan game, if anything.
Yeah, I think the Niners just kind of keep grinding it out, figuring it out. Brock Purdy was really bad for the most part in this game, but Bryce Young had a couple picks, had the end zone pick. I don't know. This was just like an ugly football game. But the 49ers, they win games like this. Panthers seem to lose games like this. But Carolina's still 6-6. They're half game out. Still got 2 games against the Bucks.
All right, let's go to Thanksgiving football. We're gonna make our picks. We're gonna make our picks for the rest of the games and get out of here. Packers Lions, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Detroit 3-point favorites.
I think I gotta go. Is it 1 o'clock or is oh my god, they moved it. It was 12:30.
It used to be
Another
12:30. Yeah.
dumb NFL move. I don't know. Call me crazy. I like the Lions. I think that game last week was a trap. It woke the Lions up. I don't know what it is about the Packers. I don't feel like they should be an 8-3 team. I'm going Detroit.
Yeah. I'll go. Yeah, I'm going the Lions here too. I feel like that win on Sunday was pretty big. They played a lot of snaps, so I mean there was a ton of plays run, but Packers just don't feel like they're the Packers. They don't feel like they're it.
Yeah, overtime game going into a short week. I know that could be something, but hey, I mean, I still trust the Lions a little more.
Yeah. Chiefs Cowboys. Kansas City are 3-point favorites in Jerry World. This is a loser leaves town game. It's the best way I can describe it.
I'm taking Dallas. I just any opportunity to pick against the Chiefs. Oh, they're back. They're back. I also, if I'm not mistaken, I think Patrick Mahomes has never started a game in AT&T Stadium, and that's probably the only stadium he's never played in. So that'll be interesting. He's from Texas. His first start in Dallas, the area where he was raised. But I just think, I don't know. I just think Dallas is going to carry that momentum over.
All right. I'm going to go Kansas City. I think they're going to carry the momentum over. That's a big win against Indianapolis. Bengals Ravens 8-20. Baltimore 7-point favorites over Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow.
Counterintuitively, I like the Ravens, just because. I mean, I'm gonna regret it. The points. I'm not super sold. I think the Ravens will win.
I don't know, man. I might have to go against you here. This feels kind of like a weird Thanksgiving game.
Could be, man. They always play close games. I really should learn. That's just why I'm trying to do the opposite, outsmart myself.
Black Friday football, 3 o'clock. Weird fucking time. Why are we doing that? 3 o'clock. I guess, if you're not working, it's pretty nice. I have to work. Bears Eagles. Philly 7-point home favorites. That feels big. Feels like a big line.
It does feel big, but at the same time, it's like, how many weeks can the Bears just bank on winning close games? I think Philly's going to be ticked off. I think they are after blowing that lead. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I think they could win by 10, 14.
I kind of like Chicago here at +7. Give me Philly to win, Chicago to make it close. This could be a coin flip game in my eyes. This really could be. I don't, because you don't know what you're going to get out of Philly. Philly hasn't really showed a lot of consistency. So, and Chicago, they're going to be close. That's it. They're going to play close. They're going to play real big games. So,
Probably.
let's go to Sunday. We're going to rapid fire pick these, and then we'll get out of here. Texans at Colts. Indy 4.5-point favorites.
Colts.
Going Texans. It's the collapse is starting. 2021 Colts have given me bad PTSD. 49ers Browns. San Francisco 4-point favorites against Shador.
I weirdly like the Browns to cover. I don't know why. Just a random keep this Shador train rolling a little bit. Trap game for the 49ers coming off Monday night. Going to chilly Cleveland. I'm taking the Browns with the points.
Yeah, I like the points, but I'm gonna go San Fran money line here. It's this isn't a game they can afford at this point. You have to win, especially in the NFC West, to survive if you want that division.
I'll go that way. I'll say San Fran money line. Browns.
Jags Titans, Jacksonville 6.5-point favorites. That seems kind of small for the Titans, right? 6.5.
dangerous spot for the Jags, but I'm going to take that. Actually, I think Jags win, Titans cover. Going Titans with back-to-back covers.
Titans money line pick of the week, pick of the month.
All right.
Titans money line. I don't know why I'm feeling it. I'm just feeling it.
I'm with you on that.
Tennessee, they play a close one against Seattle. I don't care how, it was a 20-point game with fucking 10 minutes to go. Whatever. Titans. Give me the Titans. Saints Dolphins. This game sucks. Says Reggie Bush Bowl, right?
Yeah, well, almost the Drew Brees that didn't sign with the Dolphins and signed with the Saints instead. I
Miami are
don't
6-point favorites at home.
I got to go with Miami. I think they've been playing better football. They've had a week off since they got back from wherever the hell they played that game, Madrid or Africa or whatever. Yeah, so I'll take Miami.
Miami making a run to the playoffs, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
Falcons Jets, Atlanta, 2.5-point favorites in New York. New Jersey.
These teams, if I recall, they play like really ugly games.
This is a repulsing matchup. This is repulsing.
Yeah. They played a 10. Sorry, I said 10-7. They played a 13-8 game a couple years ago. I guess in 13 they had a good game. They had a 10-7 game back in 09. They had a 28-3. I don't know. Ugly series. Give me the Jets.
Give me the Falcons here. They're such a talented team. Like, they're poorly coached, but they can't lose to the Jets.
Drake London may be out, and I just think the Jets they've been hanging in there. The defense is gonna have to win the game for them. But
Rams 10.5-point favorites in Carolina.
That feels big. That's a Panthers cover game.
Yes.
To me, Rams probably squeak that one. It's got to be a loss in some. You can't tell me the Rams are going 15-2. They're good. They can't be that good. I'm not saying this will be the loss, but there's going to be a couple of hairy calls, if you will.
Right now, they're a 15-2 team. I would say right now.
Okay. Well,
if they continued this, I don't think they would lose the rest of the year.
Yeah. This is the classic 2003 divisional round double overtime. One of my favorite all-time games I've ever watched. Steve Smith, ex-Clown. First play of double overtime. Delhomme to Smith. Panthers go to the NFC Championship game. That was St. Louis, though, not LA.
Yeah. St. Louis is better. Cardinals, Bucks, Tampa Bay, 2.5-point home favorites.
Super weird matchup. Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals. I think the Bucks are just. I don't know. I feel like
They're
this
too hurt right now.
Yeah,
this is a Brissett game. Jacoby.
There's that weird part of me that thinks either the Bucks blow them out or the Cardinals pull out a close win, and I'm leaning towards the Cardinals just because I don't know if Mayfield's gonna play. What's the spread on this?
2.5, Tampa.
Well, I get that spread to me screams that Mayfield's not playing, and if Mayfield's not playing, I'm going with the Cardinals. If that line gets bumped up, and couple points, but Mayfield's playing, I would probably take Tampa. But if Teddy Bridgewater's going, I think this is a Brissett game, and I would like Arizona outright.
I'm taking the Cardinals outright. Vikings, Seahawks, Seattle, 10.5-point favorites over the Vikings. A divisional game like that, I don't know if I'm seeing that. That's a lot of points.
Divisional game? Wait, not a divisional game.
Or not a divisional game. I'm thinking of the playoff game. The Blair Walsh missed field goal.
Right. First ever primetime game played in that stadium. Week 4, 2002. Was Randy Moss had the traffic incident that week. The Sean Alexander ran wild. The Seahawks won 48-23 on ESPN Sunday Night Football. This is a Sam Darnold revenge game. I don't know why, but I think he's going to torch the Vikings. I'll probably be wrong. I like Seattle to win. Do I like him to cover? Yeah, hell with it. Why not?
I forgot about the Darnold revenge. The Darnold revenge there. He's gonna have some shit to him. I'm going Seattle, easy.
Seattle,
and to cover. They're just gonna pour it on. I feel like now that I remember the Darnold revenge. Raiders, Chargers, 8.5-point favorites.
That feels low.
At home.
That feels low. I'm going Chargers through and through there.
That's a little low, even if they're the Chargers and they're not that good.
The Raiders are just so pitiful. They're pitiful.
Bills, Steelers, Buffalo, 3.5-point favorites in Pittsburgh. Is this How many Mike Tomlin games does Mike Tomlin get?
Yeah, well, it's like every other week. Every other week they lose a game, and then we're like, okay, finally they'll just go away. And now they're back. Mike Tomlin rallies them. It's I don't know. This is the hardest game to pick of the week. See, the fact that it's 3.5 just makes me want to say I'm just going to take the points, and that somebody's going to win this garbage. It's not a garbage game, it'll be a good game, but somebody's going to win the game of these two maddening teams by 3 points. So just based on that principle alone, I'm just give me the Steelers points. I flip a coin on who wins.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm gonna say fuck it, Mike Tomlin game. Mike Tomlin game. They're not 6-6. Mike
For
Tomlin
the
won't
right,
let that happen.
right. But for the record, if I had to pick money line, I would probably take the Bills. But I'm gonna just for the record here say Steelers to cover the 3.5 somehow.
Broncos Commanders Sunday Night Football rematch of what Super Bowl?
That was 1987 season, so that would have been Super Bowl
Doug Williams.
22.
Is that Doug Williams?
Yeah, 10-0 Broncos. Final score 42-10 Redskins. That was Elway's second. They went back to back. They got beat down by the Giants the year before. Yeah, Rod Smith's first career catch was a Hail Mary with no time left on the clock from John Elway, Week 3, 1995, Redskins Broncos. If I'm not mistaken, the last time they played, there was also a Hail Mary, and then somebody got a Hail Mary, and then they went for two and didn't get it. Was that 2 years ago? Yeah, yeah, it was a Hail Mary, but Commanders still won the game 35-33. They stopped the 2-point conversion. So these teams have had a couple entertaining games. What's the line here? Because
Denver -6.
boy, they've been playing so many close games. I don't know, man. I want to take the points with Washington. I really do. I'm gonna say Denver, another close one. It wouldn't shock me if the Commanders won this game. It's just going to be that 1 week where the Broncos just up and lose to a bad team. I don't know if this is going to be it, but I'm going to take the points with Washington.
Commanders +6. Denver to win. Great uniform matchup if the Broncos would like to wear their blue, like the light baby blue throwbacks, or like that royal maybe powder blue throwbacks. Unless I'm just completely imagining something that doesn't exist. Which if it doesn't exist, then Broncos, listen to this, create a powder blue throwback. Be pretty sick. Giants Patriots Super Bowl rematch. Pats 7.5-point home favorites here. Jameis. See, that's the only word I got for this. Jameis. The Giants will find a way to lose. They found a way to lose a lot of games where they have been competitive in this year. So I'm gonna say Giants will cover that 7.5-point spread.
I'm going Pats money line and cover.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a total runaway though. Could see the Pats winning by like 8 or 9, and there'll be some funky plays in this game. I don't know. I know the Pats were on Sunday Night Football. I don't know if Drake May, or at least the Pats this year, have been on Monday Night Football. But yeah, a lot of memories. We'll see a lot of clips of Super Bowls 42 and 46, I would think, in this game. Mike Vrabel played in Super Bowl 42, so he remembers that loss, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And but I'm taking the Pats. Of course, this is the team that lost at home to the Raiders, so anything's possible.
That's true. Maybe the Giants are the kryptonite again. That would be some pretty spooky shit if they were able to do that.
Yeah, last visit there was a Thursday night game in 2019, and that was a Pats blowout.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up right there. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Eat some good food, and we will see you